Paperback writer.
Hey Thor, did you hear? Where Things Come Back is out in paperback this week.
Really? Is it available on my planet? Hulk, do you know about this? Smash.
Wah, wah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Awkward Author. I'm your host, John Corey Whaley, and this is a very special episode because the paperback of Where Things Come Back is out in stores this week, as of yesterday. So I thought I would do something special and take you guys through the evolution of Where Things Come Back. From its early days as notes in one of my journals to its current incarnation. So I'm going to start off by showing you sort of where it all started. After I got the initial idea for the story, I jotted down notes in this moleskin journal, very original as a writer, right? And but it actually has several instances of when I first came up with particular aspects of the story. Like this one page, I'll show you. This is Thursday, May 3rd, 2007. And it says, zombies. And it reads, I've decided that zombies are going to play an important part in Good God Bird's plot. Cullen is going to have a very vivid imagination. And then at the bottom, I have what is pretty much the most important thing that I ever figured out I wanted to pursue with this book. And it just is tacked onto the bottom of this zombies page in my journal like it means nothing, when in fact it means everything to the story. I want to show you. It has a little light bulb, and it says, Gabriel and the bird will have parallel lives. And that was the first time that I realized that by having the younger brother go missing and having everyone looking for this extinct bird, I could sort of at least try to show this parallel story and the frustration that this would drum up in Cullen Witter and the lives of his family and friends. So that, I think, was one of the biggest breakthroughs I had when I was deciding how to pursue Where Things Come Back and how to finish it. Of course, at that time it was called Good God Bird, remember? And so it's really cool. The other thing I want to show you from this journal is from June 29th, 2007. Probably my favorite entry in here because it says novelist at the top. And this is what I put. As of about 4 p.m. on June 28th, 2007, I am a novelist. So yeah, it's crazy to look back at this because I remember writing this and I remember thinking, what now? You know, I remember thinking, where does one even begin to try to get people to actually read his book? And now, you know, so many years later, it's all happened, and it seems to have happened so quickly, but this seems so long ago, and it's just really crazy. The next step in the evolution of Where Things Come Back was a printed and bound copy of the manuscript that I line edited with a friend of mine, so I could be ready to send it out to literary agents and publishers. And it was titled Good God Bird, and this is the very first one I ever held in my hand. And it's got my editing marks all throughout it in red ink. There's an example for you. And yeah, it's still very strange to see it right now. My friend and I, we sat down for basically an entire day, and we read each line aloud. We took turns reading each line aloud and edited it for grammar, because I thought, if the grammar and everything is perfect, then, no one can just say, hell no, I'm not publishing that crap, and send it out of their office or whatever, or throw it out of their window. So, yeah, that's what I thought was the most important thing back then, and it's still very important to me. Then, around that time, after I'd finished the novel, and a few of my friends had read one of the printed out versions that I did, more and more people in my family and more of my friends wanted to read it. And I thought, this is very expensive to print these $20 manuscripts at Kinko's all the time. So what could I do to make it easier? So I thought, so I found Lulu.com, and I privately self-published, but a bound sort of paperback version of it that only I could order, because no one had public access to it. So I just printed it up for a few friends and ordered a few copies, and it looked like this. And I remember being really excited when I saw it, because it was my book, and it looked like a book, given it looks like a really cheap, pretty awful book, but it was a book, and I could hold it, and the line spacing is very strange, I think, but I uploaded it myself, and it was sort of a print-on-demand type thing, but yeah, I remember being so excited about this, and I'm still excited, because it was a first step in a really cool process. So then, after I got my publishing deal, after I found an agent, got my publishing deal with Athenaeum and Simon & Schuster, we, in the editing process, decided to change the title from Good God Bird to Where Things Come Back. We took the title from one of the chapters that was already written into the novel, and then I changed that chapter name. And with some tweaking and some editing, some chapter rearranging, we were ready to send to bloggers and librarians and bookstore owners. We were ready to send out this, an ARC, an advanced reader copy. And this was really crazy the first time I held this, and a very important step in the evolutionary process of the book, because it's got the cover, and it's the first time I ever saw the cover physically, and it was really, really amazing. So it had this lovely back, and I remember just staring at the spine the day that I got this and thinking, I really hope the hardcover spine looks exactly like this one, because that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. So, one more step. And then, of course, over 1 year ago, on May 3rd, 2011, I got to walk into bookstores and see this, the hardcover of my first novel, and that was amazing and really cool, and it kept its spine, which I still am in love with, and yeah, and the coolest thing about the hardcover to me still to this day, and many of you may know this, is that if you actually pick it up, if you hold it, the wood grain actually feels like wood. I have no idea how we accomplished this or how they accomplished it, and yeah, it's very cool. It's sort of a 4D book reading experience. So you cannot deny you're holding a little bit of Arkansas every time you read this book. Then, it's really strange, I never thought I would have anything look different on my books except for the difference between the hardcover and the paperback. But then this really crazy thing happened at ALA Midwinter last year, and it sort of made my book cover even prettier. Boom! And yeah, looks nice, doesn't it? So shiny. People have taken to calling this bling, but I don't think I'm cool enough to say that. But it's totally bling, right? Yeah, so there is the second version of the hardcover, which was very fun to see on bookshelves and bookstores and in libraries. And then this week, the final incarnation of Where Things Come Back, the paperback, with the beautiful blue, the embossed award medals, and another spine that I'm very much in love with. And also, the back of this one is pretty incredible. So, yeah, all of these things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 lives this book has lived, and I've lived every single one with it, and it's been the coolest, craziest, most exciting, mind-blowing, surreal experience anyone could ever possibly have. So, to all of you, thank you. Thank you for reading a sentence of what I've written. Thank you for thinking about reading a sentence. Thank you for reading at all. It's 2012, and you're reading books, and that makes you amazing. And that makes the world amazing that we're still doing this, and that we will never stop doing this. So, yeah, I don't have any more goofy things to add. This is probably awkward enough for you and me, but I just want to say, after an incredible year with this novel, that I am working on future projects that I hope can excite you all, and that I hope to bring you in as part of the journey for those books as well. So have a good summer, and I hope to see you soon.
Dear sir or madam, would you be my book?